What I'm asking you to do, with all sanity, clean up your mouth. I mean, my mom never really washed my mouth out with soap. Some of my friends got that. But we want to clean up our mouth. Why do people eat mushrooms? I just hate mushrooms. I like the juice, the taste, but they're so rubbery. They're so slimy and slick, and sometimes they're big. Mary Pat will eat like a mushroom sandwich. Oh yeah, one of those. Oh, you like it, see? What's wrong with you? So, and I've had one of those. And it's a little less slippery. And so look, what about this? Just think of something you don't like. There's something that you may not like. So I'm thinking of the mushroom. So, when one of these really negative things come into my mind, and I'm about to say it, but now I'm doing what Buddha said, I'm thinking about it first. Instead, I'm going to say mushroom. I'm going to say I think something like, well, nobody's really that nice to me. Mushroom. So if you hear me say something that you can tell it's not good for Bill, say mushroom. You use your own word. But I'm encouraging you to come up with a word. Come up with something to do. Come up with something to say. You know, some people say, cross out. Or you could say, vampire. But come up with something, because you've got to improve these skills. Now, I want to give you a little bit about what to do. And so let me suggest this. The most important words you're going to speak are the words that you speak to yourself. Yes? Yes. So the most important words, and the words that you speak to yourself most of the time, are the words that are in what I call the internal dialogue that's going on all the time. And you think when you see the world, you're seeing the world as it is instead of seeing the world from your point of view. But it really is just your point of view, but you're describing it that way, and so you build this word thing around you so it looks just like that. Yes? Yes. And that view that you have of the world compels you. The word compel, you know what it means? It means twist the arm. And so that view, that perception that you've created with your language twists your arm and causes you to feel certain things, causes you to believe certain things, causes you to act in a certain way, causes you to judge in a certain way. And what's causing you to do all that? The arm twisting. And what's the arm twisting? The way you look at it, which comes from what? Your words, your habitual words that you're using. And so you and I swim in a world of words. I'm concerned about the words that are swimming around inside your head. Khalil Gibran, you know him, he said all our words are but crumbs that fall down from the feast of your mind. Now that's a nice quote. The question is it a feast or is it a famine? In your case or my case. And so it's called mindfulness. And so this is the beginning point. You have to begin by listening in to yourself. You got to turn the TV off, turn the music off, close the book, drive around without any sound at all, and you've got to begin to listen to yourself, because it's going to be found inside of you. And when you listen, you're not going to beat yourself up. You're simply going to listen. And then you flood it with divinity. Say that. Flood it with divinity. So what you hear, you flood with divinity. Now, let me give you some practical things to do. Number one, these are going to come quick. So here they are. Number one, make a list of your favorite words. I think there's going to be 7 of these. Make a list of your favorite words. Notice the energy of the word, because they have energy. You do that by reading out loud the word. So you're sitting there with your word and you read it and you kind of feel that. See what it feels like. Rub it around on you a little bit. And it will reverberate through your body, through your psyche, and even into the air. You feel what that word is doing to you, because that word is doing something to you. It may not do it to somebody else, but it's doing it to you, and that's what's important. Number two, the Hasidic Jews offer this advice. They say, the rabbi says, count your words. Because the rabbi said, when you're born, you are allotted a certain number of words. And after you finish, you're dead. So he says the next time you're about to slander yourself, next time your words are filled with hate, he says, you stop and look at that word and say, now, is this worth me dying for? And so you count the words. That's a good idea. I mean, that's a nice little technique. Number three, how many of you brushed your teeth today? Half of you. Okay. When you brush your teeth, my chiropractor said, when I brush my teeth, do I lean over? Yes, I do. He said, don't do that. Instead, bend your knees. Because if you lean over, even though it doesn't hurt, not good for your lower back. Okay, so you can remember that if you want, but do remember this. When you brush your teeth, make a vow. And you say, baby, this mouth is for purity. Say that. Hey. Give me five. Okay. And so that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to see holiness coming out of your mouth. Jesus said, and some of you need to hear this, Jesus said, it's not what goes into your mouth that makes you clean or unclean, but what comes out is the key. And that's so funny because I even know people here who are so concerned about what you put into your mouth. And we ought to be, wise. But so concerned about what you put into your mouth and even judgmental toward other people about that. And they don't really care what comes out. And that's what matters the most. And Jesus is one of those enlightened guys. And so he said, you want to be, so that's a powerful teaching. So when you brush your teeth, you see, and that may be something you do at least once, maybe even 3, 4, 5 times a day. When you brush your teeth, you see, that will make it something that will really change your consciousness. So here's what you do. You brush your teeth, and as you do it, you say, I vow, may my words create joy. May my words create peace. May my words create love. Oh, I've got such a clean mouth. Number 4, you drop the old story. Where has the old story gotten you? Write yourself a new script. Write yourself a new script. Write yourself a new script, and I suggest you use words. And I suggest you use some new ones. Okay. Number 5. Okay, I'll do number 5. This is the heart issue. Check your heart out. Your eyes pick up information and it pours it into the heart. Your ears pick up information, pours it to the heart. You listen in on your talk inside your head, you pour it into your heart. Life comes along and shakes you up. Then all of those unhealthy words spill out of your heart. When people say stuff and it's really just not good sounding kind of stuff, it comes out of the heart. So that says something. It says you got some stuff in there. Jesus said, if a tree is good, the fruit's going to be what? Good. And if a tree's bad, the fruit's going to be what? Bad. A tree is recognized by its fruit. Then he says, for out of the overflow of the mouth, of the heart, the mouth speaks. So words indicate your present spiritual condition. It's like honey, you see. It's good. And then he says, you've got good stored up in you, and you've got evil stored up in you. Now, he doesn't mean morally evil. He's talking about fruit. He means rotten. Not good for you. I mean, unhealthy. Unhealthy is a good translation there. It's harmful. It's toxic. So he said, I tell you what, for every careless word, non-thinking word that you speak, it's going to come back. It's going to boomerang, he said. The reason is because it's creative. You're designed just like God. The word is creative, and so it will come back. And so words really do matter. Then number 7. And so what that means is check your heart. Words matter. Check your heart. Number 7. Number 5. Okay. Number 6. Number 6. I think I only have 6. 6. And this is cool. Stalking. How many of you have stalked somebody? Andy? Excellent. Let's suppose you're out in the jungle. You're in the jungle and you have no food, and so you've got to stalk your prey. And so you got to know how to stalk. Stalking can be good. There's rules you got to follow, but stalking can be a good thing. So what do we want to say about stalking? Well, when it comes to stalking, I want you to stalk the most sly, the most intelligent beast in the field. That happens to be you. And I want you to stalk your beliefs. I want you to stalk your internal conversation. And brothers and sisters, this is the time to do it because it's a holiday. Thanksgiving. Just about everybody has memories. They have feelings. They have all of these things that come up about family and all of this stuff. And so that's when you want to stalk. You want to listen. You want to pay close attention, because often when we look for energy out here somewhere. I want you to look inside, because it's inside. And I want you to stalk it. Stalk your beliefs. Now, I put on the Journeys Facebook account some things from Dr. Phil that will help you do that. So please go to the Facebook account and look at that, because it will help. But it's like a cat stalking a mouse. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to stalk it. And you can stalk your beliefs. You can stalk your behavior. Suppose you come up with an idea like, I'm never going to have a nice home. Oh, that's a good one. I'm never going to have a nice home. Things are never going to work out for me. And now you begin to stalk. Sneak up on that belief. Sneak up and see what's really going on. There's some rules. So let me give you the rules real quick, because you got to know the rules. Rule number 1, no judgment about what you find. What we tend to do is when we find out, we're thinking something bad, we start judging ourselves and beating ourselves up. None of that. Number 2, you will not act immediately on what you find, because normally what we do when we do this, and we find something we're thinking that's not good, the first thing we want to do is blame ourselves, and then we fall into confusion. It's like we just fall into the toilet. So, no blaming yourself, and number 2, no fixing it. Because you're just stalking. You're stalking. You're not fixing. You're not blaming. Now, rule number 3, when you stalk, don't fall into self-importance or self-pity. Because again, we tend to go in one direction or the other. Well, I don't think I have an issue with this. I don't think and we feel proud. Pride goeth before the fall. The Jewish people tell us. And so no self-pity. Oh, life is so bad. I'm so bad. Because when you start doing that, again, you're falling into the toilet again. You've got to climb out of there and say, I'm in the stalking business here. I'm learning something. I'm listening. And then rule number 4 is no preference as to what you find. So you're not stalking with an agenda. You're not stalking saying, I'm going to prove that my mom did this to me. You're not stalking with fear. You're not stalking with hope. You're just trying to check it out. And then, in the evening, you journal about this. You journal about it. And say with me, I'm stalking him.
I'm stalking him.
You're going to look for your favorite themes. Say, I'm stalking him.
I'm stalking him.
You're going to see, are you critical of yourself or other people mostly? Say it again.
I'm stalking him.
You're going to find out what sets it off and what speeds it up and what causes it to get really intense. One more time.
I'm stalking him.
See if you got a morning ritual, because maybe in the morning that's when you really start beating yourself up, even before you get out of bed. And watch your energy level and see that. So you really want to do that. You want to check it out. I close with this. you know, the angel came to Mary and said, you're going to have a son, name him. The angel came to Joseph and said, you're going to have a son, name him. In the Bible, it's full of name changes. Change, all over and over and over and over. When you become a Buddhist, sometimes you get a new name. In the early days in Christianity, when you became a Christian, you got a new thing of clothing in the 2nd century. It was white, symbolized purity, and you were given a new name. In shamanism, you get an animal guide, you have a totem animal, you receive a new name. New name. Sometimes at night, when I was a kid, there would be a shadow in the room, and I would swear, it's something. It's a monster. You turn the light on, it's not a monster. When you turn the light on, you name it. You get it? You name it. You can name something, and it's not a monster at all. Or you can name it, and it is a monster. You have the power of naming with words. This is the I am principle. When you say, I say, who are you? You say, I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm a parent, I'm a child. But then you get into the juicy stuff. I'm a loser. I'm a failure. I'm the one that makes mistakes all the time. I'm the one that's never going to win. I'm the one that doesn't deserve good. I'm the one that's never going to find this or that. You've just named it. You've named it. You've named it. You're throwing all of that stuff all over your painting. And you say, yeah, but I've got experience. But the experience you have is in a storage cabinet that you put in there and labeled it yourself. You don't want to use that because it's a lie anyway. You can make it anything you want. You have the ability to do what? Name it. You name it. You can name it and it will become exactly what you name it. And so today, I come to you with this. This is one of the most important talks that I can remember ever saying. I don't know if you're listening. I don't know if you're getting it. If you're getting it, your life changes. So today, just like it says in the Old Testament, today I lay before you a choice. I lay before you a blessing and a curse. You have a painting. It's a canvas. And it's waiting. And it's new today. It's fresh. And you're going to pick up the brush. You're going to decide what paint to use. And you're going to do it. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to create? What are you going to create? What are you going to create? You can begin right now. And it's a new picture. It's a new picture. It could be a new picture every day. And you do it. So I lay before you a blessing or a curse. And you get to choose. It's in your hands. Well, the truth is, it's on the tip of your tongue, isn't it? Right there. So listen to yourself. Check the Dr. Phil thing out. Thank you.